Welcome everyone to another Radio Free Cybertron review. I'm your host Diecast, and today we have FansToys Scoria, which is their masterpiece, not Slag. As you can see, he is enormous and he is awesome. I've already made him an Autobot logo right there, so he's all good to go. This is pretty much how he comes out of the box. Minus the tail. The tail is actually pulled back down more, so he's a little bit flat. But this is the way it's supposed to sit in, to where his tail's pushed up along the back, so it's almost level with the bottom of his waist, and then the crown, his crown or shield, folds down over the back panel. My horn was actually out in the package, but luckily the screw was in there too. It was stripped, which is why the horn was loose and, rolling around in the package by itself. I dropped a couple dabs of crazy glue in it to try and see if that'll hold the horn and the screw together. Hopefully that works. If not, I'm probably going to have to get a replacement horn. As far as the issues a lot of people are having with this guy, within the shoulders, mine actually isn't too bad. He can actually hold his gun no problem. Same with this arm. He can actually hold his arm up. I haven't put the gun in this hand yet, but he seems to be working out just fine right now. Some of the other things I heard people say were that the head was off in the package. My head was actually on in the package. Didn't have any problems with that. So let's go ahead and get this guy transformed. First thing you want to do when you start transforming this guy is flip down this chrome panel right here. That's where the head's gonna go. There's this other black panel which sometimes does flip down and does not. Just to open that up, and then we're gonna flip in his head, and we're gonna close up only that black panel, because this chrome panel is actually gonna fill in his stomach area in dinosaur mode. Go ahead and pull the jaw out while we're here. Oh yeah, my jaw is a little loose. That's one of the other problems a lot of people have been having with this. Take the gun out. On a side note, I found that the hand is actually, or the thumb I should say, is actually kind of useless on Scoria. What I do is I actually put the thumb back like that, almost like you're going to store it, and then to put the gun in, if you tilt it in, when it pops into place, you just turn it and it'll pop into place. That's the only way. Going straight on, I haven't been able to get it in, but it seems to go in very nicely when I pop it in from the side like that, and then just wrap his hand around the gun. But let's go ahead and pop off the gun. Get the hands folded in. You want to make sure these are really square, because if they go in, you don't want to get the fingers stuck. Actually, I think the thumb has to go up. If you get no. If the fingers get stuck, I've heard it is a nightmare to get the hand out. Lift up the panel right there. Flip the hand in. As you can see, his foot does tilt for dinosaur mode, and the toe actually comes forward as well. So, just so you can see that, the foot tilts out and the toe tilts up. Same thing on the other side. close that panel up. And there you have his front legs done. Now we're going to come down to the bottom. This is where it gets fun. The legs is definitely where it gets fun. I'm going to try and angle this out so you can see. Open this back panel, open this front panel, and this is where the foot will actually rotate out to the side. You can flip this up. Alright. So what you actually want to do now is bring this around. Get this tail out of the way. And it will line up on the back just like that. And then you can close the leg. You can see the foot is now on his back, and that's where it's going to go through the hole right up top there where his feet are going to stick through. Do the same thing on this side. Flip the foot out. Toe was a little dirty. Spin this around. Just rotate that up. So you want to make sure the feet are wrapped all the way around the waist right here, and that'll help you lock everything in. And then you just have to peg the two legs together. Make sure everything's lined up. And it's really tight. Really tight. And I definitely don't want to break him. So we're just gonna skip that for now. Yeah, we'll just skip that for now. Come down to the legs here. The legs just fold down. Clip in. You can see he's got nice outward motion on his legs as well, on his dinosaur legs. Same thing on this side. Bring that down. Clip that together. Now we have the basic form of him. We're going to bring these side panels down each side. They actually clip right into that the chrome piece from his stomach. The front here is horn is better for now, so hopefully he'll stay that way. And we just gotta Want to be real delicate with these horns. When you get them down, they'll actually lock into the bottom of his head right there. Bring the horns out a little bit, and you can see with the mouth it does tend to drop a little bit, but it's not too bad. And honestly, I'm probably gonna have him displayed in robot mode anyway. And we'll come to the back here, and all you have to do is bring this panel all the way back. It wraps around the foot, clips in. Oh, it would help if I had all the legs clipped in right together. So let's try and see if we can get these legs clipped together. I actually had to clip the legs in off screen. That was the first time clipping them in, and they were really tight. So now that I got them clipped in, I can just bring the back panel down. See how they go over the feet, and everything seems to be lining up. Once you have the feet in line, these panels seem to be lining up relatively easy. Everything on this guy is super tight. There we go. There. You can hear that clip in. That's how tight everything is. And then the tail just folds down. That also looks like it slots in right there. There we go. And then the tail, press this button right here and it'll allow it to slide out a lot easier. And there you have Slag in his 100% potato mode. And he is really nice. Really nice. Head can turn side to side, left. That's about all it can do, left to right. But nice ratchet in the head. He does have a little flamethrower in his mouth. That way you can shoot flames if you want. And I really like what they're doing in the legs, because especially this back leg, they have the clear plastic and then the gold actually behind the clear plastic. I think when they do a toy version of this, it's going to look really nice. I personally prefer the cartoon look, but if you do prefer the toy version, I think it's going to be amazing. There's some really nice paint details going on. All this red and blue in here is really nice. Some additional chrome up here. I did notice on the head around the horns, the actual paint is starting to flake or chip off a little bit. I don't know if you can see that right there, but I'm hoping it just stays to that area and doesn't spread at all. So I'm going to transform this guy again back into robot mode. I'll do that off camera, and then we'll do some size comparisons. And before I change him into robot mode for the comparisons, just wanted to show you what he would look like with Grimlock's flame cover for Grimlock's sword that I have. Unfortunately, his jaw's so loose, it doesn't stay up. So instead of look like he's shooting flames, it actually just looks like he's throwing up. So, but also his head tilts back a good amount too. If I tilt it down, it has the same effect. So just the way this is made and the sword slots into it, it doesn't really have a good peg hole to fit into his mouth. It's just kind of loose, and with the floppy jaw, it doesn't help at all to pull that off. Here's Scoria back in his robot mode, and one of the reasons I was transforming him off camera was the legs. As you saw, I was having a real hard time getting them to snap together. Well, they were so tightly snapped together that I was actually pulling this pin right here on both sides out of the plastic. You can see how that's sticking out right there. So that's definitely an issue that worries me, and it's this pin right here on that panel that flops out. That's the issue. I don't know if I should sand that a little bit, try and make that a little bit smaller. The hole just isn't big enough. As you know, we've all had that problem once or twice. So I'm probably just gonna try and squeeze those pins back in, and maybe I've never sanded down a toy, but I'm gonna try and sand that peg to see if that'll help, because I definitely don't want to pull those pins out, because I'm sure they're probably glued in or something, and then once they come out they'll probably be loose forever. Here's a size comparison. Here he is with his original brother from another mother, for a better term, since he's a Decepticon. And all in all, he does have some QC issues. He's still a great figure, still definitely worth picking up. But as far as QC goes, they did a better job on their first figure. Shockwave was Quakewave, I'm sorry, was definitely a much easier figure to transform. Everything fit nice. Scoria just seems to have a couple more issues than Quakewave does. And now for the next size comparison, we'll put him with Masterpiece Grimlock. There's Masterpiece Grimlock, and he's looking up, I guess. And as you can see, Scoria is much bigger, but the way they combat that is he actually comes with some feet. And these feet untab, and they just slide in on the bottom of Grimlock's foot, just like that. Slides in just like that. And then you have a taller Grimlock. And what that actually gives you, Grimlock with platform shoes. So now all Grimlock needs is for Dr. Wu, paging Dr. Wu, to give him a cane and maybe a cape. That way we can have a big old pimp Grimlock. And I think that would be awesome. So hopefully Dr. Wu can get right on that. And as for accessories, this is the gun Scoria comes with, you saw in the beginning of the video. He also has another red head, which is exactly the same. and some additional face plates and a sword, and I'll show those off in just a second. And here's Grimlock's, or I'm sorry, here's Scoria's sword. Matches Grimlock's pretty nice. There is a button right on the back here that you can push in, and it'll actually stay lit. And turn it off. You just click it again, and it pops out. And again, he can hold that in either hand, but the problem is his this part of the sword actually gets in the way, so he has to hold it kind of limp-wristed. These fingers on Scoria are very tight too. Everything on this guy is either, in my opinion, it's either too tight or too loose. I know that's probably a little unfair. There's probably stuff that I'm not realizing that's absolutely perfect, but there's a lot of stuff that's very loose and a lot of stuff that's very tight. See, that's how he can hold the sword, kind of limp-wristed. As you can see, the arm does tend to flop down a little bit, but if I put it up there, it will stay. Some people have had, it won't hold the sword or the gun at all. So I feel very lucky that he's as stiff as he is in the arms. And then here's the additional head with the screaming face. That actually looks really nice. I'm probably going to pop that head off. I don't know if you have to unscrew it or if you can just pop it off, but I'm probably going to pop that head off and put that on. And then here are the other face plates to give you an idea. The closed mouth, red face, and then we have the open mouth, screaming red face. And that's it for the review. Thank you guys for watching. This is actually my final test video. I know these are test reviews for a surprise big reveal that we're going to have soon, which should be the next video. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe to us if you're not subscribed already. Watch our podcast. It's weekly. I think you guys would really enjoy it. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time with our special reveal.